Okay, let's take a look at problem number 2. It says sometimes you can simplify radical expressions that contain variables. A variable with an even exponent is a perfect square. A variable with an odd exponent is the product of a perfect square in the variable. For example, n to the third is n squared times n. So the square root of n to the third is the square root of n squared times n. In this lesson, assume that all variables in radicands represent non-negative numbers. Okay, so here we are looking at problem 2. It says, well, it's the simplified form of the square root of 54 n to the 7th. So let's look at the 54 part first. So we know that 54 is 9 times 6, and we can rewrite 9 to the 7th as n squared times n squared times n squared times n. Do we agree? Because there's an invisible 1 here. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Alright, so we can take the square root of this 9. 6, there's no perfect squares in that, so we can break it down as the square root of 9 times the square root of n squared times the square root of n squared times the square root of n squared. And we have left 6 and n. So left 6 n. So if we multiply, well, we take the square root first. We would get, and I'm going to have to erase this because I've run out of space. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of n squared is n. The square root of n squared is n. And the square root of n squared is n. Times the square root of 6n. Multiply all that together, and we get 3n cubed square root of 6n. So let's go back and look. We see that C is the best answer. So the correct answer is C. Now they did it a different way. They broke it down into the 6, and that's definitely one way of doing that. And just dividing that 6 by 2, you get 3. Let's look at the got it now. So let me erase this. I have negative m times the square root of 80 m to the 9th. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down. I'm going to leave my negative m out there. And 80 I can break down to, let's do 8 times 10. And then we'll have m to the 8th times m to the 1. Okay, just doing it a little different this time. So 8 plus 1 is 9. Let's keep breaking it down because we have to break it down more. So we have negative m. We know that that is 4 times 2. 10 is 2 times 5. We have m to the 8 times m. All right. Here I can take the square root of this, and I can take the square root of this, and I can take the square root of that. So let's break it down. So we have negative m times the square root of 4 times the square root of 2 times 2 is 4, or we can leave it as 2 times 2, times the square root of m to the 8th, and we have left under there 5m. So the 5m is left. And so we'll write what we have. So we have negative m times square root of 4 is 2, times square root of 4 is 2. If I take the square root of m to the 8th, I get m to the 4th times 5m. So if I multiply all that out, I get negative 4m to the 5th, the square root of 5m. I hope this helps.